A 9 News weather impact day for the mountains because of the heavy snow, unusually heavy snow, and how it coincides with the busy travel weekend here through your Thanksgiving holiday. Heavy snow expected through the mountains all day long today into part of the day tomorrow. So we're barely even to the halfway point here, and the snow is really piling up in the high country. And then we'll have the impact here in Denver on Wednesday morning. So the messaging you may have been hearing is light snow. So that's light accumulation, but that light accumulation of 1 to 4 inches could happen over the course of 3 to 4 hours. So that is very heavy snow resulting in light accumulation. So there could be a pretty big impact to us here for a brief time during the morning commute on Wednesday morning. So that is what we should focus on here in the Denver metro area, even though we're having a relatively nice day here through our Tuesday with some sunshine and some nice temperatures. But take a look at this. This is Aspen right now, just getting hammered by, look, when that camera paused right there, I think I saw a snowflake about the size of a $50. So those things are huge. And of course, you know, Aspen has that heated walkway right in front of the gondola there, so it doesn't really pile up on the walkway, but that does give you an opportunity to see how big those flakes are. Aspen has just they've had the most snow out of the last 48 hours, counting the little storm that came on Sunday night and what we had overnight from last night into today. So huge snow totals out there in the high country. As you take a look at the live radar right now, you see what we would expect to see: heavy snow across the entire Colorado mountains, and that does include all of Interstate 70 across from Georgetown to Vail. That's where we always have the huge problems, and that is where the snow is really having a major impact. And as far as the ski resorts, we got the reports in at 5 o'clock this morning. We have some totals between 2 and 7 inches. Monarch 7, Snowmass 6, Aspen 6. Aspen's been getting some good numbers over the last 48 hours. And this is just as of 5 a.m. this morning. So these numbers are probably getting close to matching the overnight totals, and we'll see some pretty big stuff over the night. And here's your forecast in Denver, though. It's one of those days where, you know, you live in the lee side of the Rocky Mountains. We have really no idea, other than looking up and not being able to see the mountains, that there is a major snowstorm unfolding in the mountains, because we even have some sunshine here. We'll mix in some sunshine across the day here, start to cloud up in the afternoon. We're not expecting any precipitation here in the Denver area until after 6 p.m., so you'll get through your day without too much trouble. You may see a quick sprinkle in a couple of spots, but for the most part, nothing really starts here until after the sun goes down tonight, and those temperatures getting up there, breaking the 50-degree mark here in Denver and much of the Front Range. So different story up in the high country here. You see the winter storm warnings marked in red, 1 to 2 feet expected for the entire storm. Now we have about a quarter of that already done. We're coming up close to the halfway point here, but there's still 13 to 18 inches still left to fall in the high country for most of those places. So still some really high impact stuff through the entire day, all the way past midnight tonight. And you also see the blue areas. Those are the winter weather advisories, and it should be noted that that winter weather advisory of 4 to 8 inches of snow expected is very close to, in fact, inside the Denver metro area. So we could get some pretty big totals in our area, especially to the south side of town and up in the west side foothills. So if we could very easily get to that high end of that forecast with some 8-inch totals right here in the Denver metro area. And when you look at your forecast here, we'll do statewide kind of an overview at first here, because it's not going to change. There's going to be you're going to see blue shades all the way through the mountains, all the way through today, all the way into tomorrow. So the heavy snow, very little breaks in the mountains. So it's a very long lived event for the mountains. That's why we get those big totals. And then here, when you get to about 7, 8 o'clock, we start to see a few rain showers start to show up to the north of the Denver metro area. Here we are at 11:30 tonight, and the rain and snow mix perhaps starting to move down close to Denver. And then overnight, we'll start to see the snow gradually build into Denver and culminating with some heavy snow likely during the morning commute. And then by about 4 o'clock, we start to see it break up and disappear. So it won't last long for us down here in the Denver metro area, but it will have an impact. I'll show you that closer up here in just a minute. But if you look at the overall snow forecast from now all the way until really until Thursday, but it'll be over before Thursday. This is the total accumulation from now to the rest of the storm. You can see there's still several areas, still some mountain towns that could get more than a foot of snow from now until this storm is over by the end of the day on Wednesday, and some lighter totals in our the Front Range and Denver metro area. So those are, again, light snow totals, but if that falls in just a few hours, that's the impact. So when you look at your Denver impacts on that 9 News Weather Impact Day coming up tomorrow morning, here's some key messages here. Expect there to be snow showers all the way until noon tomorrow. So that's your impact window. About 4 a.m. to noon is the impact window. One of the things to keep in mind is that snow could be heavy at times. So even though it might not be sticking to all the roads, and it likely will not, when you get the heavy bursts of snow, you get slush quickly, you get kickback on the windshields, you get poor visibility. So that's why it's going to slow down the morning commute tomorrow. Even though most of the schools are out for Thanksgiving break, that'll alleviate the amount of traffic that we'll have on a Wednesday morning and everybody on vacation. But still, the impacts will be there for that morning drive for those of us that have to work, especially still the day before Thanksgiving. And here's the futurecast now for kind of the zoomed in version where we can see a little bit more detail in the Denver metro area in the Front Range. Start to see those rain showers start to show up tonight around 6, 7 o'clock, mostly to the north and northeast of the Denver metro area. And then after midnight, it starts to transition into snow showers, so we could get a mix. And it also starts to move down closer into the Denver metro area. So after midnight, we'll start to see those impacts. And this one version of the simulated radar for tomorrow's storm shows the snow showers starting to get fairly heavy here in Denver by about 4:35 a.m. And as I put this into motion during our commute, you can see the darker blues are the heavier snow showers. So good chance that we will see some heavy snow between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m., which is usually a busy time, even on when everybody's on vacation and off of school. That can be busy. And then by 1:30 Wednesday afternoon starts to break up, just isolated snow showers left after that. And then by the evening hours, it's all over in the Denver metro area and in the mountains as well. So if you look at your snowfall forecast, I'll show you a couple of versions of this as well. This is the raw data coming from the European model, which is one of the more accurate ones. You can see those 1 to 4 inch totals across the Denver metro area. And keep in mind, if you get 3.5 inches in Golden in 3.5 hours, like I said, that's a high impact. It's low totals, but high impact. And then just up the I-70 mountain corridor from Evergreen to Summit County is a huge impact for today and tomorrow morning. So when you look at your snow probabilities, like where is the best scenario here that we see unfolding? 50% chance to end up in the 1 to 3 inch range. But when you look at the next probability, 4 to 7 inch range, pretty high probability there of 30%. So you could really look at this storm as a 1 to 7 inch storm for the Denver metro area, which includes the higher suburbs in the south, the higher suburbs in the west foothills. And the chance of it being a complete zero, under 1 inch of snow, there is that possibility, but only a 20% chance there. So a better chance of going over 4 than under 1. Here's another way to look at the snowfall forecast. This is the kind of the spread. You see the areas there with the 1 to 4 inch range, 0 to 3 inches to the north. But when you get down to the south end of town, right along the E470 and C470 loop, you see that 3 to 5 inch potential there. 3 to 5 inches in 3 to 5 hours. Guess what? I'm saying it again. It's a high impact, low totals, high impact. And then we do have the winter weather advisory to the south, which is for 4 to 8 inches, and that does also include the western foothills. So that's why I really look at this as a 1 to 7 inch spread, because when we total up all the snow totals on Wednesday afternoon, some places will be in the 1s and some places will be in the 7s, and they'll be right in our area. So pretty good, decent little snowstorm here, and that could actually bring us up to one of the snowiest Novembers of all time in Denver, which is kind of funny to say because we've only had 2 storms, counting the one that's coming tomorrow. So it hasn't been a super snowy November, but the total amount of snow for November, probably one of the top 8 snowiest Novembers of all time here in Denver. So here's your 7-day forecast. When you look at the red shade there, that's how we mark the coming weather impact morning, so half of the day for Wednesday, because afternoon tomorrow, so the weather impact day will go till noon on Wednesday, and then after that it's very low impact. In fact, the storm will pretty much be wrapping up afternoon tomorrow. Thanksgiving looks awesome, lots of sunshine, probably full sunshine for the bulk of the day there, but the temperatures probably won't make it out of the 30s. So sunny but cold on Thanksgiving, and really the temperatures stay generally colder than average here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we'll be riding the edge of an Arctic cold front that will be coming down from the north, bring that polar North Pole air down to our area, just keeping us on the edge of that. So that's why those temperatures, even though we see lots of sunshine in the coming week, the temperatures will be fairly cold. And on Monday afternoon, we'll start to break out of that, and we could see quite a few 50s. And it looks like as we go into the weekend after this, it'll be a very sunny and relatively warm weekend for your second weekend in November. So thank you for tuning in here and checking out the forecast. Hopefully you have made your plans and will have no inconvenience from this storm and just be able to enjoy the snow. So thank you for tuning in and have a great day.